Malice of darkness, during the Cataclysm. The malice of darkness, death's wrath. During the Cataclysm, the hero drove the sword into the dark creature. It shrieked and writhed as the shadowy mist was sucked into the sword, tainting the sword black. His allies stood around him, and to their horror, the darkness began to escape. They sealed the shard of darkness into a large room and chained the door shut. They embedded the sword into the floor beneath them. There will set a curse on the sword, that if ever the blade was used to set free the dark, their souls would arise from the infinite void of the afterlife to create hope for the future. The heroes would all die there, forgotten by their own family. The heroes held hope that this crypt would never be found. Even the gods held hope, whatever this darkness is, even gods fear it. Yet, their hope would shatter. Sarah and Xavier stood, as a skeletal figure cloaked in physical darkness, stepped out from the dark room. Its breath was a black mist. Wings made of bones and darkness, and a scythe, tainted with blood. Shadowy tendrils stabbed the cultist, killing them and dragging their corpses into the shadows. Then, it spoke in a raspy, deep voice. "Your purpose is served, mortals. Whatever you wanted is not come to pass. Only death will follow your idiocy." Then, it flew out of the crypt, leaving Sarah and Xavier terrified. Whispers began to fill the room, and 5 wispy figures appeared. We are late, you are still alive, surprisingly." One of the spirits spoke. The teenagers stood speechless, unsure of what to say. "Confused are we, fear not, go to the mountains, leave this forest, and you will be safe." "It cannot leave this forest, for it is still weak." "May the gods guide us, now run." The spirit priest spoke. Sarah and Xavier took one look at each other, and bolted. With no idea where to go, they ran through the crypt aimlessly. Eventually, they found their way out. The forest was dark, and whispers were within the air. They ran, but eventually their vision blacked out, and they awoke in a cabin, groggy from sleeping. They didn't notice the black entity watching them from the darkened hallways. They didn't notice the horrific ghosts watching them. The wind howled and lightning flashed, as the pair walked through the cabin, uneasy and filled with fear. The floorboards creaked underneath their footsteps. A chill went down Sarah's spine, and a voice simply said, "Come." Both sprinted through the hallway as ghostly hands grabbed at them as they fell into a deep abyss. Sarah and Xavier awoke in their beds, panting, but skeletal hands grabbed them and pulled them, kicking and screaming into an abyss of darkness. The heroes failed and the gods are dead. The only existing thing is eternal darkness, and at its heart, the skeletal figure sat, knowing he is absolute, knowing he is death, and their feeble attempts at stopping him was little more than a slight delay. Now they all know, death comes for us all, no matter where you are. All that is left is to wait, for the time where the veil between this universe and the multiverse, so death may swallow us all.